Hello friends, welcome to a day in the life vlog. We are in London. I am here visiting one of my bestest friends in the whole world. Best friend in question. Hello. Hello. Introduce yourself. What's your name? Emma. Her name is Emma. She lives here. I've never visited her here. She always just goes to Panama as our things. So I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be visiting. I'm excited to do some book shopping. And today, in the array of things we've got to do, we're gonna walk into Skoob, see if we can find any books, and then after that we are going to Covent Garden. We're going to several other bookstores, so that's going to be cool. And then we're gonna go watch Phantom tonight, catch some drinks, just do all the things. Let us go. We're in London, babes. Okay, I'm taking this one with me. Say my name or say it twice. Shed this layer of overthinking. Oh, I don't wanna be less than I can be. Waterfalls wash me. The wicked drowning water, let go wicked water. Wicked drowning water. We are officially at Waterstones, Piccadilly, friends. This is apparently super big. How many floors is this again? 6 floors. It's gonna be a lot of fun. For me, not for my wallet. But we're here, friends. First thing I'm buying. Not gonna waste our time. We're not gonna stress, not gonna make a mess. Oh, no, I don't wanna be less than I can be. I wanna false wash me. Books were bought, friends. Hello. As you can tell, I am already back home, and if you were here last month or you just happened to watch my last Come Book Shopping with me, then you'd know this is not the first London book shopping related video I am uploading, because I did film 3 of them. The very last one is coming to you next month in November, and I am quite excited for you guys to see it, because I think out of all of the bookstores that I went to, aside from Foyles, I think my favorite was Blackwell's, so you're gonna see that in the next one, again, a month from now. And honestly, anytime I look at the London footage and I just edit a little bit more, I just get so happy. It was such a joyful experience to go visit one of my best friends and to spend time with her in the city she lives in, and to just go to a bunch of different bookstores and just live like the London babes experience. And it was really, really good. And obviously this go around, I did some book shopping, and you would have been able to tell from the B-roll, but I had to end up splitting the filming of the video into 2 different days instead of just one, which was the original plan.
because we continuously got delayed. We spent too much time in Covent Garden day one because I was just enthralled. I was like, damn, this is gorgeous. I'd love to walk around. I'd love to kind of get to know the area and just see things. And so I was continuously making us tardy for a lot of things just because I was spending too much time there. I didn't want to leave. It was just too gorgeous. Everywhere was really, really pretty. And so in day one, I only really went to Scoobs, and then day two, I did go to a bunch of different bookstores. And honestly, I think one of my favorites was the rare bookshop I went to. There were so many stunning old editions of classics and signed editions and just like special books. A lot of them were on the pricier end, so I didn't end up getting anything from there because I wasn't too sure if I wanted to like splurge on that. I can't remember now if there was any editions of Wuthering Heights, because if there would have been, now I would buy one, but back then I hadn't read Wuthering Heights, so I wasn't sure whether I, enjoy it or not. And so I kind of regret not having read Wuthering Heights before going to London, but it's just what it is. Maybe at some point in time I'll get the opportunity to go back and kind of browse again and see if I take any rare editions with me, because I think it'd be really freaking cool. That said, despite the fact that I went to many different bookstores on those 2 days, really all I bought can be boiled down to Forbidden Planet and then Waterstones Piccadilly, which Waterstones Piccadilly was so overwhelming because it is the biggest bookstore in all of Europe. So there was honestly just so many floors. There were so many things to see, but I eventually found my rhythm in Waterstones Piccadilly. We were there for a while, obviously, because I wanted to like soak everything in because we don't have bookstores like that here in Panama. But all of the book shopping I did was in those 2 stores, and I have it all here. So let's get right into all of the books I got, friends. Very first thing I got is not necessarily a book, but it is relating to books. And Michaela and I both got a copy because we were like, yes, we both need this in our lives. And I'm hoping that at some point in time we can have like a nice little cute coffee date and we can just quite literally color. I mean, I'm not a stranger to this because I do have like my coloring books and I do that every once in a while to help with my anxiety. And it's quite great, but we did end up buying the Heartstopper coloring book. I don't know that I want to like color this, but at the same time I do. And I am looking at alcohol markers to get those because sometimes like those wood coloring pencils are a bit much on my carpal tunnel, but I just love the fact that we get the opportunity to color in some of, our favorite scenes in the Heartstopper world. And it's just a very wholesome thing to own. I think there were illustrations here of things that we don't necessarily get. So like there are like new to us illustrations in the coloring book. And I just love this because Nick and Charlie are just so very wholesome. Anything to do with Heartstopper and really Alice Oseman at this point, I am very much a fan of. And so I saw this and I knew I had to get it, especially because we weren't able to find this in Gay is the Word. And so we just kind of made sure to get this when we did go to another bookstore that had it. As soon as I saw this in Forbidden Planet, which by the way, it is quite literally comic, manga, manhwa, graphic novel heaven. I had never seen in my life a bookstore so well equipped with graphic novels and anything relating to animated, illustrated forms of media. Like it was just wild the amount of stock they had. When I went to Miami, I wasn't able to find Solo Leveling Volume 1 because they only had Volume 2 onwards everywhere I went. And so when I went to Forbidden Planet and I saw this, I was like, yes, I do indeed need to get Solo Leveling. At this point, I've read it and I've reviewed it here on the channel, but just wanted to obviously like show the facts that I did get this in Forbidden Planet. And in Solo Leveling, we follow Jin Woo, who is a hunter. He is an E rank hunter actually, which means that he is on the bottom tier of the actual hunter organization. And everybody really looks down on him for it because he doesn't exemplify the same amount of prowess, physical ability, intellect, just really nothing that quite compares to like an A rank hunter. But he remains there despite all of the discrimination he faces because he has to provide for his family because other members of his household are not able to provide. And we particularly see the setup in this first volume as he goes on a mission with his fellow hunters and everybody ends up relying on him for this particular mission because nobody seems to be able to quite piece together exactly what's happening except for Jin Woo. And so it really is one of those things that you can judge a book by its cover, though you shouldn't. And because of it, you'll never really be able to see what they have to offer because you are not willing to see it. And I'm very much looking forward to Volume 2. But again, just thought I'd show it anyways because I did get it on the trip. Next up on Forbidden Planet, you can literally see the sticker right here. I did see the £1 off, and like, did I really need to buy it because of that? Not really, but the book just sounds amazing, and I have heard of this series before because I do think it's one of those romance series that each book stands by itself, but they are all interconnected in a way. I do believe that is the case. Do correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments because I could be, but I also saw that Ali Hazelwood blurbed to this, and I really did enjoy The Love Hypothesis, and at this point I've also read Love Theoretically, and so at this point it just keeps climbing in the ranks of I could really love this. And I've also discovered after reading My Roommate is a Vampire that I absolutely love books where supernatural creatures need to like room together, or at least where one of the parties is a supernatural creature, and I've really been getting back onto like my paranormal romance, supernatural romance groove, and I really have been enjoying it. And so this one is A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon, which I am all for. So we obviously have main character Mariel, who is a witch, and we have got Osroth, who is a demon, and she has been prophesized to be like the most powerful witch seen in centuries, except that she doesn't want anything to do with like brewing potions and casting spells. She just wants to be a baker. She loves baking her bread and just doing cozy things. She wants nothing to do with like the witchy side of things, except that one day something goes wrong. She ends up summoning a demon, and that is where Osroth comes in. He has been the laughingstock of like the demon world for a really long time, but he thinks that if he is able to get Mariel to make a deal with him and steal her soul, that he will regain his reputation, but she is not willing to make a deal, so they end up rooming together and I guess fake dating at some point, because there is like a fake dating element to this. It's not in like the synopsis itself, but I will assume it's part of the story, and things just kind of go from there. And I believe it's like a hate to love, and it just sounds really good. I love the fact that it's got the baking element to it as well, which I believe it's like a nice recipe for coziness. I think it's like a perfect little book for the fall season. Not that I have fall where I live, but in my head I build up the illusion, you know? And so this one could be a nice one to include maybe on my November TBR. Once More with Feeling by Alyssa Sussman was another thing I needed to get immediately as I saw this. I was like, yes, I need to take this home with me, because when I read Funny You Should Ask, I absolutely loved that, and I really love that the wider conversation surrounding pop culture and stardom and the media has been a topic in her previous installment, and so I am very much looking forward to seeing what she is going to bring in with this one. So in this one we have our main character Katie, who is a pop star, and she has got like the life every girl dreams of, a super successful career. She is dating a member of one of the hottest boy bands at the moment, except that she is not quite happy with how things are going, and so one wrong night leads everything astray. I think something happens with one of the fellow band members that she ends up confiding in, and that leads to a lot of turmoil. And so present timeline, she is no longer a pop star, I believe, and she is really enjoying the fruits of a normal, regular, everyday life outside of the limelight, and everything is upended when said band member Cal comes to her with the opportunity of a lifetime, which is kind of exactly what she wants. She wants to be on Broadway, and he is offering her her dream role in her dream setting for a show that he is directing. Except that they haven't spoken since that very fateful night where their careers were destroyed by something, assumingly, that they did together. And so I'm quite excited to see where this is going to go. I do know that a part of the synopsis mentions the fact that she, again, hates stardom, hates everything to do with it. And so I am looking forward to see what sort of commentary Alyssa Sussman is going to bring into that, because I loved that Funny You Should Ask was not only about the romance, but that it also had a side bit of commentary, because I love that. I am about to admit something that may or may not surprise some of you, but a girl, Mel, hi, present and voting, I have never read a Neil Gaiman book, not a single one, and I had no idea where to start because he just has so many books. I know for sure I didn't want to start with Coraline because the movie even terrifies me, and I know that the graphic novel is like even scarier, and so I was debating, like, do I start with the Sandman series? Do I start with one of his prose books? I ended up going with Neverwhere. I don't know if this is like a good option for like a first Neil Gaiman experience, but I was reading the synopses for a lot of his books while I was in Waterstones, and this is really the one that caught my attention, and so I'm really excited to read this. I also just love this edition. I love this cover. I'd never like really seen it before. It also has like illustrations throughout the book. I don't know if this is like a common thing throughout, you know, every edition of Neverwhere, but I loved the fact that in the margins we do get like a special little something, and then we just get like full pages of illustrations on this one. I think it's really cool. Intimidated a bit, but like I'm quite excited about my first, hopefully, you know, Neil Gaiman experience if I don't end up going with something else, which I doubt. And the setup of this book is that beneath the London that we know and love, there is another London that people are not aware of. And so the book starts with our main character Richard as he rescues a girl that is bleeding on the sidewalk, and he learns two very important things. Well, I guess three. Her name is Dor, and then that she is on the run from assassins, and that she comes from that London below that people are not aware of. And so he embarks on this journey of finding out what this London below looks like, is like, and he is tossed into a world full of monsters and angels and demons, and a world like he has never seen before. But has he actually never seen it before? Because it is bizarre, but it sounds strangely familiar, or it looks strangely familiar, and he wants to figure out why. And so again, quite excited about this being potentially like my very first Neil Gaiman book. Let a girl know if you've read Neverwhere, what your thoughts are, and if there are any other like Neil Gaiman books you think I'd enjoy, do let a girl know, because I've got no idea. I'm really unfamiliar with his work. I also got In the Lives of Puppets, mainly because I like the UK cover more than I do the US one, and so I ended up getting this. I was also holding out hope, which was very naive of me, but I was really holding out the hope to getting the Waterstones special edition, which I'll have a picture right here. It is absolutely stunning, but of course by the time I got there they simply didn't have it. In fact, I think there were only a few copies left of this one, and I do own Under the Whispering Door, though I haven't read that one, so this one is joining the TJ Klune collection, and I'm hoping it's a good one. The book does sound unlike anything I've ever read before, so I think as far as like uniqueness, I think he's got it covered. And so in this one we have a house that was built into the branches of a tree, and the human who lives there, Victor, alongside his three robots. And to quote the flap, this says, "The three robots are a pleasantly sadistic nurse machine, a small vacuum desperate for love and attention, and a fatherly inventor android named Giovanni Lawson." And these four are their found family. They love each other, they take care of each other, except that one day they find another droid by the name of Hap, and they figure out that Hap and Giovanni have got some sort of turbulent history, and so they are called upon to vouch for Giovanni, or Giovanni has to do something, bottom line, to not get decommissioned. And so they have to travel far and wide in order to get to where they need to be, and it kind of goes from there. There's a quest, there are droids, there's a human, and I really don't know where it's gonna go with this one. I've heard plenty of people say that this is their favorite TJ Klune and that this release was like really good, so I'm hoping that this is a good one. I find that with The House in the Cerulean Sea there were really beautiful conversations surrounding mental health and found family, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what this one is going to bring to the table. But I do think before I get to this one, I do want to read Under the Whispering Door to see kind of what that's about and kind of read them linearly. And then the very last book I got, which I am so freaking excited for, is One for My Enemy by Olive E. Blake. We are set in New York City with two rival witch families. First, the Antonova family, who is reigned by the Baba Yaga. That is her only name, the only name she will answer to, and all of her daughters, who all together with the Baba Yaga are the main suppliers for premium intoxicants. And then on the other side, we have got the Fedorov brothers. Their dad is a crime boss, and he really rules over like the shadows of magical Manhattan, and they have had a stalemate for a few years, except that something goes awry as all things go, and peace is no longer kind of an option. And so while two of the siblings from these separate families are kind of falling in love with each other, in the backdrop of that we see a lot of bad blood bring them to the brink of disaster, and they have to figure this whole thing out. And I'm really curious as far as how much romance this book is going to include. If you guys know, do let a girl know, because with the Atlas 6, there's like a little bit of it really, but I think it's more sensual than it is romantic. I think there's like a differentiating factor between those two inside that book. And so I'm curious to see if this one's gonna have more of it, just because it is mentioned as like part of the synopsis. And I've been really into like romantic fantasy books as of recent. And so do let a girl know how much romance this has. But either way, I'm super excited to read more of Olivia Blake, because really all of the hype I hear is surrounding the Atlas 6, and I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about her other releases. And I do also own like the self-published edition of Masters of Death. I don't know that that changed as much as the Atlas 6 did upon revisions and traditionally publishing it. So I need to figure that out as well to see if I want to read the self-published or if I want to read a traditionally published edition. But I did get this one and I'm excited about it. So this little stock right here is all that I got on this book shopping trip, and I am honestly quite excited about all of these books. Honestly, I'm not going to lie, I think I got some really amazing releases while I was in London, and so I'm excited to add all of these onto the bookshelves and see where the TBR takes us in the near future, and see if I end up reading any of these anytime soon. I also just need to rearrange my bookshelves in general, so maybe we need to do like an end of year on haul / reorganizing, because it really needs help, I think, because the last time we did one of these videos, like it was good as far as like the reorganizing, but it's time, it needs help again. And that is it for today, friends. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little come book shopping with me in London in several different bookstores, and that you're having a beautiful day wherever you are. Let a girl know down in the comments if you have bought any books recently. Have you read any of the books that I hauled in today's video? And what are you currently reading? Let a girl know all of the things. I hope October has been treating all of you kindly. I hope my birthday month has been kind to everybody, okay? If you reached the end of the video, let's leave some baked goods emojis. So a cake or a croissant or some bread or just really anything you want that is a baked good in honor of A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon, because we do have a lot of baking in that one and I'm very excited to read it. Don't forget to subscribe down below if you haven't done so already for more bookish content like this. And if you want to support the channel further, I do have a Patreon. It's always linked down below in case you guys want some extras. We do a bunch of live shows over there. We've got a Discord server, extra videos, just a bunch of fun stuff that may or may not be related to books that you don't necessarily get to see here on my channel or in other of my socials. So if you'd like that, it is always linked down below alongside the rest of my socials. Love you guys so much, and I will see you on the next one.
Goodbye!